Like I don't take it for granted at all, and I know I don't get on my social platforms as often because I just be doing my own thing. I'm human just like the rest of you guys, but in my downtime or my off time, I'm always thinking about how I could do more to engage with my community, with people all around the world, and just get to know people on a genuine level. Like before I was a professional basketball player, bro, like I had so many friends from all different backgrounds, all different religions, all different cultures, and that's what shaped me. I grew up in a small town in West Orange, New Jersey, so like this is real normal for me to have conversations, but because I'm a professional athlete or people have like this celebrity kind of look about me, or they think that because I'm a celebrity or because I'm a quote unquote famous person that they can't approach me. It's the furthest thing from the truth, bro. I'm just like everyone else, bro. Like,
Kyrie, I love you, man. I love your game. I hope you really get back on the court. I hate seeing you injured, man. I
bro,
really
I
do,
was
man.
saying I was saying in the chat, I hope you could hear my like feel my emotion, bro. I fucking hate being injured, man. Like
All right,
it's one
all
of the
right, bro.
worst things, man.
I
Hey,
just
But
have one
you
question.
inspire me. Like
thank
you inspire me, man. I'm so nervous talking to you, man.
you. Nah,
That's
it's all
love. Hey,
good, man.
Kyrie, I got
Hopefully,
a
hopefully
question.
moving forward, we can move past the nervousness. You know what I'm saying? And we could do this for like at least see 517. I guess people, they free right now, so I gotta figure out a time where I could like join in with you guys and really tap in, man, and build this Discord out. And
So
you guys
my
are the foundation. But
question
go ahead,
was,
ask it.
yeah, my question was, how's it like playing with Luca? How's it like being on the Mavericks? Is it different from when you were on the Cavaliers?
Yeah, well, every situation is different, bro. I appreciate you asking that, man. Every situation is different. Every organization is different. I had a great time in Brooklyn, man. I really grew as a person, as a man, and I did what I could there to be ultra successful. We came up short. I was in Boston for 2 years, came up short, but same thing with Brooklyn. Excuse me, with Cleveland. We came up short a few times, but I can honestly say I have no regrets, bro, on any of those situations. The biggest difference of being in Dallas is, of course, you playing with Luca and other guys, but I'm in the Western Conference right now. It's 65 or something degrees right now in Dallas, Texas. Like, I grew up in the East Coast for so long, man. So that weather fatigue and that weather depression is real, man. So I would say the biggest difference is just walking outside the house and being able to ground myself, put my feet in on the soil, and um, just to really appreciate where I am in life, bro. Not saying I didn't get a chance to do that in Cleveland, Boston, or Brooklyn, but it's just different scenarios, man, different circumstances, different teammates, and it's no shot at anybody at all. I love everybody that I've been able to learn from and grow with on these teams. And basketball, man, I love to do it. So you're gonna
Yeah.
succeed and you're gonna fail, bro. You got to be able to take the highs and lows. So I would just
Thanks
say
for
that.
answering. Thanks for asking my question, man. I'll take off the stage and let someone else take it. Thanks.
Of course, bro.
All right, Kyrie, I just want to know, man, and back in 2016, what was going through your mind, bro, with that shot? That shot, it was so crazy, bro, watching it
Man,
live.
Bro, I've been shooting those shots since I was a kid, man. The ball has been in my hands in those clutch situations since I was a kid, so I felt like I was prepared way before that moment, and it wasn't just about going against the Warriors or anybody. It was like, you had to go through a champion to become a champion. So we had to beat Golden State in order to become champions, and it's one of those memories that I take, very seriously, and I don't take lightly because man, I put in a lot of work that year, man, coming back from my fractured kneecap injury and then coming back that season. So I just remember for the rest of my life, bro. But that we don't get to that shot without really playing well that whole entire series after game three. You know what I mean? We really had to earn that chip. So,
All right, thank you,
that's
bro.
got you, bro. It's history, but we got more history that we got
To
to make,
make.
man. Yes,
Facts.
sir. Of
All right, bro, love.
course.
hey,
I got into
can I
like
ask a
525
question?
with a few people. Yeah, I got to like 525, then I get a massage. So I get ready for these game, like this
So
game on
first, my
Saturday.
bad,
No, go
my
ahead,
bad
go
for
ahead.
my English, because I'm from Brazil, and you know. But you say like you told on an interview one day about chopping wood, carrying water.
Hmm.
How to keep your mind like right every day, like doing, getting better every day, mastering your craft every day, and like I'm trying to do that. You're like I say, you're my role model, and
Hmm.
like it's crazy for me because I came from a place that nobody believes in me, like what I do to play ball and stuff like that. Like, so how you keep your mind right every day on the same goal, you know?
I would say, well, when I said chop wood, carry water, I got that from an author. Let me see. Mm, just want to make sure I give him his just due, man. Joshua Metcalf, bro. I gotta make sure I give him
For
his
sure, for
just
sure.
due, cause when I picked up that book, uh, or somebody gave it to me as a gift, man, I didn't know what I was gonna read or take on as wisdom, and how it was gonna help me in my life. But I could tell you, like, I started reading it a little bit before my trade or a little bit after the trade,
Yes, sir.
and I
Yes,
was
sir.
just uncertain, man. I dealt with some of the um, craziest times in my life these past few years, with kind of just dealing with real life circumstances, right? Um,
Yes,
but
sir.
what I've learned about myself is I'm a soldier of God, man, and I can handle all things. I've been able to make it through some of the craziest storms, craziest dark places, and it was all because of my belief in God and also myself and how strong I know I am as a person, bro. It's life is not easy. It's not meant to be easy. We're constantly being brainwashed and indoctrinated on, with different things, belief systems and stuff like that. We're all separated based on religion and culture and class. So I just try to be a uniting force, bro, and
For
pray
sure.
for a better future. Pray for people to understand what they have in their lives. Just appreciate it. I know a few of you guys in this chat are familiar that I didn't grow up without my mom, but if you haven't grown up without a parent, or you've lost somebody close to you, it changes you forever. So a lot of my passion, a lot of my drive, a lot of my motivation was to make sure that I was making myself proud, but also keeping my mom's memory alive, man. Like
For sure.
every day I wake up, I wish I could get a kiss from my mom every day, a hug from her, and um, I just feel for everybody who's lost somebody, and that's who I am. Like I just have a big heart, but also very sensitive, uh, and also I'm very outspoken because my mom gave that to me. My dad gave it to me, so I like to speak to people very authentically, very honestly, and tell them that there aren't going to be perfect weeks or days or years, but you got to put one foot in front of the other. You got to get up out of bed and be grateful to God. You got to get up and continuously pursue the dreams that make you happy.
For sure.
One thing that I wish I would have done when I was younger, right, when I was 19 before I came into the NBA, was take time to get to know myself. Like, what do I like to do outside of basketball? Who am I outside of this? Because I didn't have an answer to that question. And when you're 27, which I was, like 28, and you're asking, who am I? Like, what am I doing this for? What's my purpose out here on the earth? Some people call you crazy, some people just dismiss you, and some people will say anything they feel about you, which is true or not true. It doesn't really matter. But that's
Yes,
been
sir.
my
Yes, sir.
greatest gift, is to be able to still work through all of that, and realize that I'm imperfect, bro. Like I've sinned plenty of times. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. I've been hurt. But I gotta continue to put one foot in front of the other and forgive myself and forgive others, bro. Like human beings, man, we're like the funniest people on earth because like we swear we got everything together, but motherfuckers is struggling. Excuse my language.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like people are struggling day to day, and that's why I believe in having a strong spiritual foundation or religious foundation that you can rely on, because that's where the community is. People that are going to tell you the truth, about who you are outside of what you do for a living. So, if
For
I
sure.
answers your question, bro, that's where chop wood carry water comes from. Hungry and humble. When me and my dad, and we don't even believe in just being hungry and humble anymore, because that's like survivor's guilt. Like we made it out the
Yes, sir.
trenches. My family's from the Bronx, New York, Harlem world. If you know, you know. So I come from, I'm a project baby, bro. Like, grew up in the burbs. My dad moved me out there, but we had it real tough growing up. He did everything he could to provide. So, my dad was raising me and my sister by himself, and that's what made me kind of the person I am today and how strong I am. And just realizing like shit not easy, man. So you gotta meditate, you gotta pray, you gotta light some sage, some Palo Santo, you gotta do some retreats, you gotta do things that make you happy, bro, to help you
For
defeat
sure.
this.
For sure.
So,
Man, I'm glad you say that because that's one thing I see myself in your situation because I lost my mom like when I was 10. Like talking about this hour made me cry a little bit. But like it's
she's up there
tough
with my
because
mom. She's up there with my
yeah,
mom,
man.
bro. And
Yes,
this
sir.
this this meeting doesn't happen by just coincidence. I've
Man,
prayed for these meetings to meet other people around the world that share a similar story or share a similar background, because these are the people that I focus on, you know? Like I
For
can't
sure,
just
for
focus
sure.
on the fans and the supporters of basketball and it's unrealistic, bro. Like you got to focus on the real community impact and being there for people, even if it's just a like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just giving them that time to let them know like, yo, I see you, I hear
For
you,
sure,
and
for sure.
this is what real life is about, bro. Like this is what goes on outside the game of basketball. You don't get to hear me speak like this to the media, or you don't get to
Yeah.
hear me speak like this on YouTube or anything like that because I don't do many interviews and I'm not on live as often. But when I do, man, it's always to make that impact and let people know like I love them unconditionally without even really knowing them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that we got a chance to connect though, bro, because this is big time, man.
Yes, sir. For real, man.
Anybody else got
Appreciate.
any questions before I
I
jump off
appreciate.
real quick? Because I'm gonna get back on a little bit later. But let me know if anybody else got any questions. I see a few hands out there, man. I just want to make sure that we connect. But I'll be back on later, bro.
Yo, what's up, Kai?
What's good?
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, man. I just wanted to say you've been an inspiration for so many years, man.
Thanks,
I just
bro.
want to also thank you like for off-court stuff as well, man, because it's so much bigger than basketball.
Thank you. I honor those
I
words, bro. I appreciate that.
not because generally I appreciate it. I'm a Muslim man. You know, you've been showing up for Islam a lot. You've been
Assalamu
showing up
alaikum,
for
brother.
Palestine a lot. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Yeah, like I'm so nervous talking to you right now. This is crazy, bro. But
All good, man. Yeah, y'all gotta
yeah,
promise
being
me that when we get on video call, you're not gonna be as nervous. Cause if it's just nervousness on voice
yeah,
call, we gotta make sure
no,
we
I'm
connect,
chilling, bro.
brother.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling, bro. But
That's
no, I
it.
just wanted to thank you again for cause I'm from Palestine, bro. I appreciate what you do, man. You do a lot more than you think, man. Just by even talking about it, it's a lot more. So generally, I appreciate you, bro. Of
Of course, man. That's never gonna change. I've
course, man.
done so much research on not only my culture but plenty of other cultures, and it's never good to see anyone go through genocide or be oppressed or have to bury their loved ones during war. So it's not easy, and I just want to make sure I'm always with you, and I'm with all the innocent lives that are still there, and that are here, even here in America, fighting for what's right. A lot of us are in this together, despite the walk of life that they are, whatever religion. Like, if you stand for righteousness and you stand for God, you stand with all oppressed people being liberated. So
Yeah,
that's just what it is, bro.
yeah. Again, man, I appreciate you so much. I even I went to Brooklyn last weekend. It was nice.
You did? How
It
was
was
it?
yeah, I did.
Cool.
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was my first time in Brooklyn. I loved it.
Okay, good, bro. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
I
You
want
need to represent.
yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time, man.
I
Hopefully,
appreciate
video
you.
call. Hopefully, in video call, I could
Yeah,
talk
no,
to you again
I didn't
later,
even
man.
know I can't even video call with everybody watching, but I'm gonna make sure that next time I'm on, make sure y'all see me
Of
and tap
course,
in. But
man.
I appreciate you, bro. Salam, all
Of
right?
course, man. I appreciate you, man.
Safe.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. I appreciate you
Um,
so much.
yes, sir, brother. All right, brothers and sisters, I love all y'all. Pray for y'all. I'll catch y'all later. All right.
Easy, bro.
Kyrie.
All right, guys. Kai will be back in a few. Just stick
Yeah,
around.
I'll come back soon. Yeah.